shit lasts only 3 seconds. One more. We gotta do it one more time. Hey, not for that. Get that off. We gotta get this off too. We don't gotta get it off. We just gotta. My fault, chat. Niggas haven't been podcasting in a minute. It's not my own fault. It's my own fault. Shit. I just need to go to my no. View your channel. Here you go. Yes, it says we're live. Now we go back. See, when we get the hang of this shit though. Oh, nah, don't take it off, nigga. Wait, how did niggas go back and forth between this shit? Nah, he said that it would play off the rib, but alright. I realize how annoying that could be, chat. If I'm not just staying on the one page. Wait, you know what's funny though? I could do this though. I can make this smaller to the point where I'm really just hold on, shit. Hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. Now I don't be using computers. That's another thing. Like I really hardly. Damn it! I hardly been using this bitch. Sorry, my hair look crazy. Damn, nobody tell you to do all that, gang. That's wild work that you decided to just move yourself down there. What? Wait, it only could be a certain length? Like, the fuck? I just want to cover that. No, it can't cover the desktop part. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Hey. So then I could have came in like, dun. Oh, we gotta expand this bitch though. And we could move this down too, low key. Hold on. How the hell we do that? See, that's my. Hold on, here. I just saw it right here. This shit. We could move it down some. Move that shit down. Yeah, see, niggas got a laptop, so they be doing this shit, and they been in Stream University, so niggas know how this shit go. Like, can't you move this shit down? On tweaking? On forward now? Alright, fuck it. Back to what we was doing, our daily program. There you go, yo. So then we get the little screen. We still be able to get the edits and all that shit. Alright, so today, hold on. We can squeeze down some more. Right there. Bow, what's good? We're in Q's ENT today. I wish I could show you the full screen. I mean, I still can. I could go back and forth, but when I figure out this, I'm gonna do like an OBS training session, bro, so I can get right and get this shit right, have my shit moving smoothly. Shout out to everybody who decided to join today, man. We are back. I wanted to start this early since I woke up early as fuck. But had to wait for some people to come check this heater and make sure that shit covered up for the fucking mouse issue, bro. Niggas is not doing enough for me, in my opinion. Like, the people who's supposed to come, like, do your maintenance and shit, they not doing enough for me personally. So, fuck them. Alright, so, what's good? It's your boy Q to the motherfucking G-O-D. We are back in the building. Yes, man. It's been a minute since we did a podcast. I know y'all been missing the podcast vibes. My nose. Sorry, I don't do crack. My nose just got hella hairs coming out of it. I'm about to make a shirt. Like, I don't do crack. I itch my nose because I got long nose hairs or some shit. Like, because niggas, I know niggas, you see me do this shit and think I'll be like doing some shit, bro. I feel like that, bro. I do that shit way too much. But I have nose hairs that grow out the ass. Like, you kind of see them bitches coming. Anyways, hope each and every one of you guys are good and blessed and feeling great today. Today we have started back with our podcast. Finally, it's been like solid 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. Almost a whole month since we did a podcast. So, and that's kind of sad too. Wait, you know what I forgot to add? The clapping noises. Oh my god! It's been like a whole. I forgot to add the clapping noise. I did everything else today. I added the Undertaker noise. I added a whole bunch of shit. Why it's not playing now? Bitch. Yeah, that shit should be playing. I don't get it. What the fuck? Yeah, I added a couple different things today. Bitch, if you don't play this, bitch. That's crazy. It's crazy works. I checked all these before. That shit was working before. It's not working now. That's wild. It's wild works. I'm okay. We added. I added a whole bunch of shit there. I don't know why this Q one not working and I not working. One of them like the Undertaker, the other was some other shit. The T was. But today, I might have to go full screen for this one though. It's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to balance both. Wait, we could go. Fuck going widescreen like that. Let's just do it like this. Let's just do it like this, bitch. Let's just do it like this, where we just cover like that. Hold on. I'm like trying to have my face covered as much as possible. So then I don't like see the double shit going on. Yeah, like some shit like that. Oh yeah, okay. So this is where we're at. I want to make it full screen. I should make it full screen. Let's check the chat. Gotta grab the phone. Gotta check the chat. Gotta grab my phone. Gotta check the chat. Cause like I don't get the chat notification. I might have to try to fix it. I'm gonna figure it out, bro. Zero Chris Dewey is in the building, man. I appreciate you guys. I know Chris probably off work. Shout out to Zero. Gotta check the chat. Cause like I don't get the chat notification. I might have to try to fix it. I'm gonna figure it out. So my soundboard sounds loud. Okay. Zero Chris Dewey is in the building, man. I appreciate you guys. I know Chris probably off work. Shout out to Zero. He said my voice sounds low. Is it sound low right now, or is it still sound good right now? So my soundboard sounds loud. No, everything sounds good to me right now. I just checked. Appreciate everybody joining, man. I appreciate y'all right now. Okay. Yeah, it look okay. We looking kind of official, kind of. All right, so look, somebody told me I should react to this slash like make a podcast on it. I haven't personally been keeping up. Oh. I personally haven't been keeping up with the Diddy trials and like everything that's been going on with it. I know my last video was about the last thing I did about Diddy was the Cassie case, like when he beat up Cassie or whatever, and how beating up women was wrong and shit like that. That was the last thing I did. Right now, I guess people are mad. I guess I don't know. I'm seeing it on social media, and one of my people's asked me, talk to me about it, like mad about the trial's decision or the outcome. I don't even know. Like I didn't know what happened when it first dropped. Like the crazy thing is when Diddy first like got locked up, it was everywhere on my social media. It was like everywhere. And ever since the trial kind of started, it hasn't been showing up that much on my social media, so I stopped really putting I had stopped focusing on it. But I'm guessing I'm guessing from people's reaction and people's take on it if they didn't like it and they felt like it was unfair. I don't know. I don't even care as much, but I kind of did want to hear what they were talking about. I feel like I'm still not gonna get the info from CNN. I don't know. I was gonna try to look up some more videos and maybe go down and see. I just don't want to get copyrighted for nothing. And I know I won't get copyrighted for CNN because CNN is public news. As you can see it right here. We're gonna do the 9-minute version first, and I'll go see if I search something else. But I'll just give them my basic opinion.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix. Now this whole
Cassie's Los Angeles apartment. The defense attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, pressed Bongolan on when exactly and where exactly it happened. And the theme today was receipts. She brought them out, quite literally. Those at the Trump. Diddy from the courtroom for nodding at jurors, or if he kept doing so. The defense picked up their cross-examination of Cassie's friend and repeatedly tried to undercut her credibility. And the jury heard from a key witness and a new accuser, an ex-girlfriend who said that Diddy pressured her into unwanted sex with other men. Now, about that rebuke from the judge. It happened while the jury was out of the courtroom. He told the defense that he saw Diddy looking at jurors, and the quote was nodding vigorously, not once, but twice during the testimony of Cassie's friend, Brianna Bongolan. The judge told Diddy's team that is absolutely unacceptable. He asked defense lawyer Mark Agnifilo, who leads the team, if it was going to happen again. And the way he did it was like, rhetorically, it's not going to happen again. Agnifilo assured him it would not. The judge replied, it would not happen again. The nodding happened during Bongolan's cross-examination, where the defense tried to score some pretty big points, and they did. They challenged one of her most dramatic claims, that Diddy dangled her over a 17-story balcony at Cassie's Los Angeles apartment. The defense attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, pressed Bongolan on when exactly and where exactly it happened, and the theme today was receipts. She brought them out, quite literally, those at the Trump Hotel, where they showed that Diddy was staying at that hotel and traveling in places like New Jersey when Bongolan said that the incident actually occurred.
At the Trump Hotel?
Westmoreland asked her, you agree that one person can't be in two places at the same time? Bongolan replied after a bit of a break, in theory, yeah. The day ended with the critical witness on the stand. The Diddy accuser testifying under the pseudonym Jane, who is identified as victim number 2 in the government's indictment. She said she first met.
Why? I've been wondering this the whole time. Why is there no media? This makes me feel like this whole shit might be a fluky. There hasn't been no real media, like, involved in the courtroom. I don't know if they made it like a special case or something, but I've been seeing a lot of these paintings / pictures of the case. And majority of the time, no matter what celebrity or who it was, majority of the time they had that shit on camera. Some type of camera. Nowadays, and I don't know what kind of power Diddy got to make people stop taking photos and being. I don't know what kind of money he got, but this isn't being filmed properly. I feel like, if that's just me. Like, I'm talking about the whole situation. Like, from the time he got, oh shit, I feel like I got boogies. From the time he got arrested till now, even when he was like, they kept saying that Diddy was still free and the police was looking for him and shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. Something tells me that shit is like a big ass distraction, bro. Other than what what the case juries they're talking about right now, but I don't know, bro. Something not right. Personally, and it's like everything that they're trying to make about this case is like, I don't know. Let's keep going. It just feels off.
Diddy in about 2020 and was dating him until his arrest. She described a very intense relationship involving drugs and vacations and financial support. But she said that Pandora's box had been opened in 2021 when Diddy brought other men into their sexual relationship. And she described those encounters as debauchery or hotel nights, which prosecutors say are the same things as what Cassie Ventura referred to as freak-offs. Jane testified that she would have sex with other men while Diddy watched. And she said some of those sessions lasted more than 24 hours.
Alright, I said this before the podcast, and I thought about it. And I was like, based off of what I knew prior to the situation. First, before I continue on, fan of Diddy, have I ever been a fan of him? I never understood him. Growing up, he was somebody I listened to as far as music, but personality-wise or talking, I never got a chance to know who he really was. Listening to some of his like the podcast and the way he used to speak back then, he just very much seemed like a person who had a strong goal in mind and wasn't trying to be overpowered at any point in time. He wanted power. That's like every time I listened to Diddy, it was like everything about him was power. Then started listening to what people were talking about him and saying about him or things, and people just seemed to fear him a lot. Right? And I'm getting to the point where his music was enjoyable and still very much bumpable. But I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, this nigga low-key is like an evil genius based off of everything he's done made money off of other people, done schemed his way up, and barely made, like, he's, whether y'all like it or not, people know Diddy for making music, and he's never really made music, if that makes sense. Diddy has a couple verses on people's songs that you probably can't even really quote unless it's like Biggie song or somebody big. But there's so many songs that Diddy done produced. And that's what made him so. That's what made me feel like he's been a producer underneath so many artists and brought so many artists up. The way he's done it, very evil. Now we found out it was like a lot of drugs, a lot of peer pressure, a lot of bullshit. We found out that through shows and through other people's interviews that they never really got much money off of Diddy. Diddy made money off of them. And if they did make money, they got in a better position where they honestly, that's what I'm trying to say. Diddy has been like, Jesus Christ. If I had to look at the story, what people are telling and the time frames and from the shows that he had. What was that shit called? Making a Band. Um, you know, people, talking about his character, but me watching him in real time, he was always had the shades on, and when he do take them off, this nigga like he fucking ready to, like somebody done took something from him, so he ready to just take it all. I don't know, personally, but now after hearing that the fact in her face, her face while she's looking at me is hilarious. But the simple fact that I hear him just said that he allowed his girlfriend / partner to have sex with men that lasted 24 hours is crazy works. Take a break, wake up, sex. 24 hours. Why do you need to be there watching her for 24 hours getting pounded out? Like, what did that gain? What did you gain from that? But then I learned, like, he has, like, a thing. I think I learned that it's about domination for him. It's a thing he's probably been through. Anyways, I think I did. Oh, yeah, so I did watch the like, Diddy, like, I don't forgot what it was, like, Raising Diddy, whatever the shit was, the Diddy show that came out, the Diddy little whatever. I watched that. Because, like I said, it was something that was, like, just distracting me a lot. It was always on my feed. Like, every time I turn around, one time I clicked on it, and now it's just popping up. So, first of all, evil. Genius and crazy, yes. And if he beats this, I'm not cheering for him, but that's another Donald. That's another Donald. This nigga was at the Trump Towers dangling bitches off of buildings. Then pull up to BET Awards, pull up to fashion events, talk to high. That's evil. That's an evil genius. He's evil. Like, I say genius because he's never gotten caught. Geniuses don't get caught and get caught up in for shit. Most evil geniuses, if you watch any fucking Disney Channel movie, even the fake characters, or even real ones, they get put behind bars but find a way out all the time. Being straightforward. But to hear some of the things that these women are accusing him of and actually most likely have done, that doesn't seem like that's not far from me. Something tells me Diddy was like, "What, bitch? What did you just say?" Like, I'm laughing because I watched the video of him already with Cassie. So let alone. How do y'all feel, huh? How do you feel, bro? How would you even feel if your shawty came home and told you she's getting fucked by somebody for 24 hours? Somebody else. For 24 hours. Not even one. Multiple guys. Nigga, I would lose my mind. I would lose my shit. Matter of fact, I want to lose my shit. I'm going to just lose the bitch. I'm not about to sit here and deal with that shit. Hell nah. Fuck, I'm about to look at, no. Like, he kept her. Like, that's what's fucking with me. You just kept her. You kept her after she done this 24 hours of being ran through. You just had to, like, it's like he must have had a fear or some shit, bro. How do you come back from that? I'm not even talking to a bitch. Shit, I'm gonna be curious, to be honest. I'm like, what you mean? What you mean you was fucking for 24 hours? Niggas didn't get, you know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. Why did this even have to go out on CNN? I'm confused. What part of this, oh my God. The hotel nights in which the thing's go on for 24 hours. Is that a violation? Like, she said that like it was a violation. She said it like it was like Jane definitely said. Jane definitely just said she was down for the shit for him. And then she said some of them will last for 24 hours. That's on you for making it last so long. I would have been like, I can't, and I'm leaving. If you want to kill me, throw me off the balcony. Like, the fuck? But could you imagine, yo, you go into a hotel and the people are paid off to shut up? Like, so you're trying to, like, get help and they're not helping. That's some shit. He took your phone, just left you there. See, that's the evil part. That's where I'm like, God damn, babe. Shit, you just got your girl. But he didn't believe her. He just sat there and watched. He's there. Like, I don't know, man. That's still crazy. How do you hire the guys? This nigga. Continue on. Let's continue on. I gotta smoke that shit. That got me going crazy.
So the hotel room would be decorated with red lights. Music would be playing, and there'd be, quote, bed sheets covering everything, blankets, towels. She was asked what it was all for, and she replied, for the excessive use of baby oil everywhere. Jane said she told Diddy multiple times that she did not want to have sex with other men, but he wouldn't listen. She explained why she went along with it at first, saying, quote, I feared losing him. I just wanted to be everything that he wanted. Now, Jane is going to be back on the stand tomorrow.
I thought she was going to say something more. Now, Jade, you asked for this shit now. You asked for this shit now. You also asked for it to stop. It sound like you should have left. Nah, your response can't be that. Your response better be out of fear, bro. Like, I loved him, but I feared him so much. Like, I feared what he would do to me if I didn't have sex with them. Don't be like, stupid shit. Don't be like, I didn't want to lose him. Bitch, so you saying you gonna do anything for him, which mean as his girlfriend, you gonna have sex with anybody if he says so, because you point sure I don't want him to leave. Bitch, this nigga's crazy. He just brought 7 different dudes in here and watched you get fucked with baby oil everywhere. Jane felt obligated to perform hotel nights. I don't know if that's against the law. Like, feeling if you felt obligated, so you had to do it. Like, breaking the law is breaking the law. This nigga said, let's rob a bank. Fuck the freak offs. This nigga said, let's do drugs that is illegal, and you do them because you don't want to lose him. You're still doing something illegal, whether you felt like it wasn't or not. You did something illegal, bitch. You felt like it was wrong for you to sleep with a whole bunch of these niggas, or men, or guys, whatever kind of guys it was. Did it for the first time. Maybe even the second time. But then the third time, this nigga is bringing still 14 to 15 different guys every time you got a hotel night. And I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy's like, no, it's just me and you tonight, you know what I'm saying? You pull up and there's like 15 guys. It's not funny, but it's funny because it's an evil villain move. Like, I just keep looking at, like, now after, like, just, like, for the longest, I was a young kid, so for the longest, my dad played his music or songs that he produced, and for the longest time, I never really heard his voice, if that makes sense like that. till he's on like a BT Awards or he actually got a pro. You know what I'm saying? Or say shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I finally started getting like Instagram when I got older. Like probably like I didn't start even seeing none of his content until I was like 21, 22. So then it's like, god damn. You know what I'm saying? It's like, god damn. It's like, shit. This nigga did what? He supposedly did what? And like just watching his demeanor, the way he is, he's never really been like you ever watched Diddy back in the day. You don't see him around, like you see him around women, but you don't see him around women. That makes sense. I watch a lot of videos now going back to it. He didn't have like groupies all around him, or he wasn't dancing with groupies. A lot of times he had men. It was kind of crazy, bro. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. B2K. They were talking about how B2K and all those people they got found with and all that shit. It's fucking wild. Probably had to go through the same experience. Whole bunch of bitches got tired of fucking bitches. They brought some niggas in here. Brought niggas in there with the bitches, and the niggas got baby oil. They fall asleep dancing.
I want to begin with CNN's Kara Scannell, our eyes and ears in the courtroom. She has been, from the beginning, a part of this case. Kara, the judge, as you know, issued this stark warning to Diddy. Today, he was saying that it could not happen again. What did you see? Have you seen Diddy nodding vigorously or looking at the jurors before today?
I have seen this. I mean, he was nodding vigorously during the test.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, why are y'all drawing pictures and giving us pictures and only talking about it? Like, I haven't seen Diddy one time since this trial shit. 17 days in. Whatever, supposedly. They keep drawing these fucking nut-ass pictures of old-ass fucking Diddy over here with gray hair. Maybe he don't want his image to be fucking fucked up. I don't know. Maybe he signed some type of indie.
Testimony of one of his former personal assistants, George Kaplan, who was testifying that he'd quit working for Diddy because of the physical violence that he had witnessed. But he also talked very fondly of times that he had spent with Diddy, saying that he learned a lot from Diddy. And during all of the positive testimony, Diddy was nodding his head vigorously. He's very animated, and he does look over at the jury. I mean, in fact, yesterday, when they were doing the cross-examination of Cassie Ventura's friend, Brianna Bangalan, I saw him watching the jury for most of that cross-examination. I didn't catch any nodding at that point, but he certainly was paying attention and looking at their reaction. And honestly, after the warning today, when Jane was on the witness stand, I saw Combs again looking at the jury, stone-faced, but he was watching them for their reaction during some of this very explicit testimony.
Really important. I actually interviewed Joe Tacopino as well for my podcast, and his take as defense counsel on what it was like to hear news like that and how he would guide his own client. Really interesting. Yeah, check that out, Kara. But also, you mentioned Jane, a woman testifying under the pseudonym Jane. She took the stand today. Jane was in an open relationship with Diddy. We learned from 2021 until his arrest. Can you describe what Jane's demeanor was like and any reaction whatsoever that Diddy had to what she was testifying to?
When Jane walked into the courtroom, you know that courtroom, there's the center aisle. Diddy is sitting at the defense table. He turned all the way around and watched her walk down that center aisle to the witness stand. Now, as far as I could...
I thought this was going to be about, like, the outcome. Or, like, I try not to watch any videos so I can give y'all a valid reaction. Make sure I go check the chat. Okay, good. I thought this was gonna be like a solid like description of what happened. I didn't read the caption either. Kind of just it says trial recap. It says judge warns accuser, sexual assault. Night. Okay, about nodding his head. we'll probably move on to the next one after this one. It's only 9 minutes.
Tell, because my head was kind of ricocheting between the two of them, is that she just had her eyes focused and she didn't appear to make any eye contact with him. You know, she was testifying in a very clear voice. She's a little soft spoken, but very clear. But when the prosecutor was shifting this conversation, she'd been talking about the early heady days of their relationship and how in love she was. When she asked her to focus on May 2021, that is when she just drew silent. Her head dropped and she started dabbing her eyes with a tissue from the witness box. And the prosecutor even asked, do you want to take a break? She said in a firm voice, no, she wanted to go forward. And she then described how in May of 2021, that's when this Pandora's box opened, that she said a door she was unable to ever close throughout their relationship of when they began what in her vernacular was called hotel nights. Cassie Ventura referred to them as freak-offs. But she was describing this. And, a key part of the case here is whether there was force or coercion to satisfy the burden of sex trafficking. And she was asked, if she ever told Combs she didn't want to do this. She testified she did in writing multiple times and also one-on-one. And she said when she told him 101 that she didn't want to do this anymore, he said, okay, if we break up, I'll give you 3 months and, I'm not going to pay rent for a woman I'm not involved with. She said she wasn't at all suggesting they break up, but Combs was paying $10,000 a month for her rent. And she said that because of that, she felt obligated to continue with these hotel nights, even though she didn't want to do it.
Really important for the prosecution to try to move the needle on that fraud or coercion or force notion, as it relates to sex trafficking. And a comparison for jurors who recall the testimony of, say, Cassie Ventura, they're going to undoubtedly
No, not this, not this, not this. Exit. Bitch. Stop. I forgot this shit small as fuck. I can't even see. Is the action of or participating in illegal transporting people from one country or area to another for purposes of sexual exploitation. So was he trafficking like the guys? I don't get it. I wouldn't call that sex trafficking if she agreed upon having sex in an open relationship. She agreed upon having an open relationship with homie. It wouldn't be considered sex trafficking. Based off of definition, it's not sex trafficking. Unless the chick, because it says, I think they said that's not her real name. Or, and if she did go underneath that as her, no, I think that was her name, Jean. But technically, it's not sex trafficking. if he wasn't transporting her from like Mexico, or if she was agreeing upon things or feeling obligated after being in a relationship with him. She was being transported to hotel after hotel, if that's what the part that they're talking about. But it's kind of hard if you were already agreeing to this open relationship. Him paying your rent is not his job. You paying your rent, if it's underneath your name, is your job. So was it the money? Or did you not want to do it anymore, Jane? That's the real question. It's the money? Or did you not want to have sex with men anymore? Did you not want the money? Or did you want to keep having the money in sex with men? That's the answer. And the real truth of the matter is she felt obligated, which means if she felt obligated, meaning yeah. She was like, fuck, I don't gotta pay rent. I just gotta open my mouth a couple times. But then when it went 24 hours, that's when she lost her mind. When he sat there for 24 hours and didn't help her and probably didn't even give her a kiss after or some shit, she lost her fucking mind. She was like, he doesn't even love me. He's just watching this shit happen. He probably had another girl come in there and shit. Or had a nigga on him or some shit. Who knows? But the point, at least what I'm getting at least if we're going to learn something from this podcast today or in this reaction, it's about somewhat of accountability and understanding that money can change your actual actual position in life, your thoughts, how you're gonna move if you are that weak-minded. Based off of this video alone, I'm not talking about the whole case. I'm not talking about everything else. I don't know about there were some other things about kids and shit like that. I haven't got to that part yet. I thought that's what I was gonna hear about, maybe, or whatever. I don't know. There was some other shit they were talking about. Somebody else was talking about. This was just like the basis of what happened, I guess, the other day. He kept nodding his head, some shit like that. But Jane explained hotel nights. It sounded like she just had a couple nights too where it was her and him and then maybe a couple guys, something light. She experienced it and was like, cool. But then was traumatized by probably definitely that 24-hour fucking, the fuck this nigga thought it was, a 24-hour stream. This nigga, what the fuck? I'm still stuck on that number. Sex with different guys for 24 hours, bro. That lube got her shit numb as fuck. He squeaking that shit. Never mind. Sorry, I'm going too deep. I'm just thinking about it though, because that could really fucking scar somebody. I feel like I just know about my own dick. I know about my own dick, let alone like one person. I don't know about females' vagina. I know their vagina can take a lot, but 24 hours? 24 hours. And probably with some numbing shit. That bitch probably thought she was dying. Shit, man, that is low-key like torture, bro. But you can't. It's like when Saw. It's like if you walked into a Saw, if you walked into a building that said you're not supposed to walk into it type shit, right? And it was like, but if you walk in here, you could possibly find $10,000, but they don't tell you what else is like gonna happen when you walk in that building. And say you make it out the first time with $10,000, but you go back in there thinking you're gonna find another $10,000 because you didn't search the whole place or some shit, or whatever, and then, feel me, fucking 30 billion other people pulled up that day and beat your ass so bad that you barely could walk. But you came out with $10,000. You came out, you made it out home, beat your ass so bad you barely could walk. You can't walk for a fucking couple days. Cause that's what that bitch just suffered from. That bitch back was broken. 24 hours in sec, bitch. Your body just not even meant to be doing all that. Your body's supposed to take it. That's alright. Anyways. Nigga, I already know how I would be done off, bro. 24 hours in sex, nigga. First of all, your muscle you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to take time, nigga. You gonna have to be soft in that bitch. You gotta have to go soft for a couple hours, just play with her, lick her pussy and shit. I don't know. And even that, she gonna get too stimulated. So then you gonna have to go in with just a whole bunch of shit. I don't know, like baby oil, and massage, and your body gonna get tired, nigga. Like, sorry.
Compare and contrast their notes on these two particular alleged victims. Kara Scannell, keep your.
But my main point was that your choices in life, the people you want to love, knowing what love is very important before jumping into an open relationship, being with a man who has power, being with a man who has desires. I'm talking to the women out here. I'm talking to the men who might be in the situation where they put in, where Diddy is calling y'all in to fuck his wife or some shit. I'm talking to all of y'all. These situations that you decide to put yourselves in, you never know the outcome. So be able to try things on your own. If you feel like it's wrong, if you know it's wrong in your heart, you know it's wrong, don't feel right. Why continue? You got $10,000. You got your rent paid for a couple weeks. You had your shit paid for. Now you gotta go back and be on your own. Now if the nigga start stalking you and harassing you, that's when you could have took this to the police off the media. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to be a part of that. You feel me? But once you tell them you feeling obligated and staying and shit, they getting more confused. Like, well, you signed up for this, right? You be like, no, but I didn't know every weekend I was gonna have to. I didn't know every weekend. You said you were this man was paying for your rent. You guys were together. It's like some point in time, it's like, damn, you feel bad, but at the same time, like, damn, bitch, you gotta take a little bit of accountability for that, though. Jane, you gotta take a little accountability for going back when you had the opportunity, when he gave you an opportunity to cut and run. Like, he kind of said, like, all right, bitch, like, listen, I do this shit. I really be fucking with these bitches and having them fuck whoever. If you don't want to do that, slide. I ain't paying your rent no more. Peace out. Evil villain shit. But still, it's not really evil villain shit. I can't even say that. He genuinely wanted what he wanted out of her, which was weird. It was some weird shit. It is some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. Some weird shit. But his kink, his feelings, what you felt like, you agreed upon. This part in court, I feel like obviously is not gonna hold up fully. It could, but I feel like me personally, it's not. I mean, the head nods though. Diddy, come on now. This nigga's over here like, hold on. Damn, I fucking hate this shit so much, bro. I don't know how the fuck I be losing shit. I had a pair of shades too, bro. And I don't know where my red ones at. Don't even worry about it, because you can still see me through the red ones. Still, nigga sitting there in the court. I just imagine him with the shades. That nigga in the court like. like giving different looks a bit. Like that shit crazy. Come on, cuz start the bit.
Eyes and ears open. We need you. Thank you so much.
A question we get all the time is, how do you do culinary school online? And the way we do it is by focusing on technique. Taste and flavor is very...
Let's hear now from our powerhouse legal team, former federal prosecutor Gene Rossi, trial attorney Monique Presley, who also represented at one point Bill Cosby, and Benjamin Chu, former co-lead counsel for Johnny Depp during his defamation trial against Amber Heard. Monique, I want to get right to this pattern. I know obviously in a RICO case, you got to show a pattern of different behavior, these so-called predicate crimes. But we're hearing a lot about the pattern of the freak-offs. Multiple witnesses now testifying to this effect in these hotel nights or whatever it might be. Is there a compounding effect that is useful for the prosecution on that issue?
Not to me, not from what we've seen so far. I mean, if...
Go Q, hey, go Q. Like she said, it's not a case so far. Like, for them, they just looking at it like, y'all bitches agreed to being freaks. Yo, low key, bro. Like, if you listen to the way it sound, like you just agreed to being a freak. Like, you agreed to $10,000 to being a freak. Like, for your man, not for a stranger. For your man, you said it. Y'all were dating. He said y'all were dating too. Y'all both agreed y'all dating, and he paid your rent, and you decided to be freaky for him because you didn't want to lose him. Ain't no crime against that. That nigga took you to different hotels and just made you feel special at that point. He didn't want to be, you know, Diddy is Diddy. He didn't want to be the same. He didn't want to give you the same hotel and make you feel like you know. He brought you to different hotels, brought you around the world, bought you nice shit before he did it and shit, then put you in that room for a couple hours. You was fine with $10,000. That body, though, he was like, God damn, that's a lot of money, bro. You gonna have to show me 24. Oh, it's not funny, bro. It's not funny, but listening to the case is like, God damn. This nigga's an evil villain, bro. Back out a little bit. All I did was type in Diddy trial recap, and that's what I got so far. Declines to testify. Combs declines to testify about what, though? That's only like, that's 21 minutes. I don't know. Something tells me that's not worth watching. Week 2 testimonium. Live now. Y'all be lying though. This shit not live. Let me see. They gonna be like live and they be outside the building and shit. Like, bitch, that's not live. That's not nothing we want to see. And I don't care about these sex tapes. We already know these shits are valid and true. Tell me something I didn't know. Somebody said there was some shit on here. Like, and that's why I'm like, weapons. The stylist says is threatened to release his sex tape. Yeah, I could, bro. Nobody cares about that shit. Oh, so it's just a sex trafficking trial. Oh, so he gonna beat this shit. Okay, right here. Hold on. This is what I was trying to hear about.
All right, everybody, it's time not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward.
Sean Diddy Combs has been denied bail after the verdict in his sex trafficking case, and here's how he took the news. According to NBC News reporters in the courtroom, Combs appeared, quote, deflated as his hopes of going home were seemingly dashed as his lawyers attempted to convince Judge Aaron Subramanian to release their client ahead of his sentencing. In his ruling, Subramanian cited Combs' years-long pattern of violence as a reason for him to remain behind bars, adding that he continues to be a danger to others and unable to follow the law. arguing that Combs, who pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, as well as transportation to engage in prostitution, was acquitted on the 3 most serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering and only convicted of prostitution-related offenses.
There we go. So, but if he wasn't taking bitches from other countries, they don't have evidence of him taking bitches from other countries. It wasn't really illegal. But the sex trafficking and prostitution and being aggressive and endangering to people, he definitely deserves some time behind bars for that. They say he's been behind bars, but I don't think he's been behind bars yet. He needs to go like where Tory's at, like go behind the bars, possibly get stabbed. You know what I'm saying? At least give him a year. Give him 2. Matter of fact, give him 3. Just give him 3 at max. I would never hope and pray on somebody to get 3. But I'm saying if y'all do follow along with that, I think that a year or 2 for him to actually sit down in jail, go to jail for some shit like that, is valid, because there's a lot of people who are scared to open up, or he's done his while he knew this case was being, processed and shit like that. He did his research on the people and made sure, like an evil villain would, I feel like he went around and made sure either people went missing, the important people that he needed in the case went missing, or he made sure he had enough dirt on them that they could never come out on, and just, be, themselves, or, they'll be humiliated type shit. So they dropped all the other shit. And I don't know, somebody else was telling me about there was some more shit, but it sounded like he was doing mainly like prostitution shit. Personally, hold on. It sounded more like he was on that prostitution wave for me. He was more on that like paying for pussy shit, damn near, or paying for somebody else to get pussy. Nigga was doing everything all wrong. I don't know. It don't even sound right. I have a relationship. Me and her travel all the time. That's what I'm saying. He must be paying like niggas to come fuck. So that's what the prostitution comes in, I guess. Because the girl was doing it for free. She not doing it for free, but she doing it for the love. And the guys was doing it. The guys must have been doing it for money. How the hell else do you get guys to come have sex with? Yeah, right? Am I tweaking? I'm tweaking, y'all. Let me see. What's going on in the chat? No, nothing? Okay, good. Okay. I'm tweaking, though? I'm not tweaking, right? He must have been paying the guys. He must have been paying, like, if he traveled somewhere else, he must have had to been paying, like, because they were saying there's multiple nights and multiple hotels and shit like that. Different women can attest to this. So if different women can attest to that, like, where are you getting all these guys? Unless you already had hired guys. Unless you already had guys. Like security. Some superstars. That make more sense. Like at the parties. Especially if she's famous. If she famous and he agree and get that shit to happen, like, it's quiet. So, wait, let me go back. Wait, what did they say one more time? It's a short video.
His sex trafficking case, and here's how he took the news. According to NBC News reporters in the courtroom, Combs appeared, quote, deflated as his hopes of going home were seemingly dashed as his lawyers attempted to convince Judge Aaron Subramanian to release their client ahead of his sentencing. In his ruling, Subramanian cited Combs' years-long pattern of violence as a reason for him to remain behind bars, adding that he continues to be a danger to others and unable to follow the law, arguing that Combs, who pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking...
And see, this is shit I'm talking about. He would wear these dark shades and shit like this. And this, honestly, this was when he started, like, it's when he really started kind of honestly getting himself fucked over. he started appearing everywhere and talking too fucking much. I think that's what got him fucked up, personally. Because before, when I first started watching Diddy, he wasn't a talkative person. He wasn't a public figure type of person. Then this nigga started popping out everywhere I turned around. This nigga's everywhere, making friends with everybody. Still looking young as fuck. Like, that nigga's like 50-something years old, damn near, or 60 damn near. Look, that's why they got the old gray hair and shit like that in those pictures, because he be using the dye shit. But niggas is be old. It's crazy how old superstars really be looking, but they have money. So, anyways, he always had this look though, like with the black. He just like look, he was about that shit. Like,
Racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, as well as transportation to engage in prostitution, was acquitted on the 3 most serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, and only convicted of prostitution-related offenses. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo insisted he should be released on appropriate conditions. As Agnifilo outlined, Combs would be willing to put up a $1 million cash bond co-signed by his mom Janice Combs, his sister Keisha Combs, and Sarah Chapman, the mother of Combs' eldest daughter Chance Combs, and have no access to his private plane, which is currently grounded in Maui. He also agreed to surrender his passport, undergo drug testing, and restrict travel to areas of New York, Florida, and California as necessary to attend court and meet with lawyers. According to NBC News, Combs was passing notes to Agnifilo as the attorney spoke to the judge to argue for Combs' release. After Agnifilo finished, Combs raised his hand and started to get up, seemingly to speak. Agnifilo told the judge he would find out what Combs had to say, and Combs' attorneys rushed to speak with him. Ultimately, he did not end up saying anything. Combs will remain in jail until his sentencing, which is scheduled for October 3rd.
This is what I need to hear. That's what I need to hear. I wanted to hear the status. I wanted to hear where the fuck he was at. I wanted to hear if he was in jail. The goddamn October 3rd until his sentencing on October 3rd. Goddamn. So that nigga's been in jail. He's been in jail for like a year now. I would try to look it up again, but I'm not really fast with the typing shit. I don't really even got time for all that. I just wanted to get this video done for sure for today. But alright, so hold on. There might be more. There might be some other shit. They say they dropped every other charges. So I don't know what else people were talking about. I know people are mad that they dropped every other charge and are only catching him on prostitution. We'll watch this last one on CNN.
In other news, Connecticut residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out. There's a new website where any Connecticut resident, as long as you live within a zip code.
Casey, we have a verdict. We have a verdict from the jury. In the Sean Diddy Combs trial, we're told they sent a note just a few moments ago that the jury has reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. They are unable to reach a verdict on count 1 as we have jurors with unpersuadable opinions on both sides. Now to break that down, count 1 is RICO, the most complex charge here that could come with up to life in prison. The remaining charges include 2 counts of sex trafficking, 1 for each victim, Cassie Ventura and a pseudonym named Jane, and the last 2 in terms of translation into the form of prostitution. So we now know that on the RICO charge, it appears that the jury presently is hung. We do not yet know what the verdict is in the remaining counts, but suffice to say, over the last 7 weeks, the prosecution has been trying to persuade a jury of now 12 people with the alternates out that Sean Diddy Combs should serve the rest of his life in prison.
Oh, bitch. That bitch said, oh... Oh shit, why she fuck up like that? It's like she's trying to get her point across. And why the fuck is this bitch looking like that? CNN. Come on now. What this bitch said? She said
that John Diddy Combs should serve the rest of a jury of now 12 people with the alternates out. That John Diddy Combs should serve the rest of his life in prison based on 5 felony counts. Now, the jurors are not to consider in any...
Hold on. John Diddy Combs? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I ain't gonna lie. It must be hard as fuck to do that shit in New York, bro. While everybody walking around and shit. John Diddy Combs is crazy. I'm sorry. It's just funny as hell.
Way, shape, or form the potential sentence, but this is huge. We are now the second day of deliberations. It has been a little more than 10, 12 hours of deliberation, including notes, lunch breaks, and an overnight deliberative process. And here we have right now all these notes in between. We are waiting for the verdict, but also the judge to make a decision on count 1 and whether they should continue to deliberate, given called with the Allen charge.
Okay, so this might be before what we just watched. And this is what I was saying. They don't got no footage of this nigga in court, which is kind of crazy to me. Or like leaving the court or leaving the jail. Like, they don't got nothing. Nothing. Just got all photos of this nigga. Like, nobody, we already seen all this shit. Anyways, maybe it's because it's CNN, but then, like, even when I'm looking for other shit, they just keep showing me the same type of pictures and videos. Anyways, I'm pretty sure we don't even probably gotta watch this whole video. Like, I kind of want to.
All of the considerations that everyone has reached their final conclusion. At that point, which is called an Allen charge, the jury might say, you know what, Your Honor, we haven't actually thought of that. We can give it one more try. Or they might very well say, Your Honor, we're coming to you about the rest of them because this is the one that we are hopelessly deadlocked on. No additional time is necessary or will yield any alternate conclusion of unanimity or a decision. So now the judge has to deal with that. If that's the case, if this jury says that we are officially hung on one charge and we have a verdict on the rest, well, the prosecution, who has the burden of proof and will always have a burden of proof in a trial, as they should, will have a discussion among themselves. Do they insist that they go back again and deliberate, or do they learn the verdict on the rest of the remaining charges? Right now, we do not know, but we're told from Kara Scannell, who has been inside of this courtroom, that the tension is thick, that the one is by far the most serious. RICO carries up to life in prison with sometimes mandatory minimums. It's a very serious charge. Now, the that were already listed, and they might very well have known what they wanted to do in the other charges as well. But make no mistake about it, the most complex case, Elizabeth.
That they think that things are going their way, they want them to keep going, but I actually want to go back to the question that you asked Laura before this about which charge is the most serious, and as Laura spelled out, it is absolutely that first charge of racketeering conspiracy because it holds a maximum sentence of life in prison. But these other charges are still incredibly serious. Counts 2 and counts 3, which are sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura and sex trafficking of the woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. Those are 2 separate counts. The judge instructed perhaps that they think that first charge of racketeering conspiracy because it holds a maximum sentence of life in prison. But these
the bitch's name wasn't Jane, but she filed her name under Jane.
Other charges are still incredibly serious. Counts 2 and counts 3, which are sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura and sex trafficking of the woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. Those are 2 separate counts. The judge instructed the jury to deliberate separately on them. Each of those carries a minimum sentence of 15 years. So these are all incredibly serious charges here. The final 2, counts 4 and 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, each carry a maximum of 10 years.
And the idea of the defense.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. Because some of the, I guess they're saying, all right, I get it now. Some of the sex trafficking had to do with younger women. and they're saying that he might slide. I think this is the conversation I was having with said person. They were saying, because some of the sex trafficking had to do with younger women and men. Younger men and women. Because sex trafficking really low-key can be for, like, you could take the younger boys and younger men and do it. If they're young, that's off the rip. Sex trafficking. If they're too young, I think that's off the rip. Sex trafficking. That's illegal. Something illegal. Whatever it is, illegal. And if you're doing it, in, as far as sex, anything with sex, it's illegal. So, especially if you're the older one in the room. The actual people, you know the rules, goddammit. And like I said, for y'all who really don't, sex trafficking is a serious thing where, like I said, people take either younger or regular age women at the same time, take them and they bring them to different hotels or different parts of the world or country. Sometimes you get to be lucky. If you're lucky, you get to stay in state. If you're not, you're shipped off somewhere else. You don't know where you're going. And majority of the time, it's either for sex or for some type of work, slave work, whatever. That's for y'all who don't know. So I get why that some people were mad because he might be getting off with those charges as well. They were saying, and the racketeering one, that he might be getting only, like the lady said that he most likely will only be getting charged with prostitution, like stuff, and that's not guaranteed. So I get where the anger could come from for some people, where they want him to at least. But some people don't understand how much sex trafficking can even be. It's like 5 years, and probably with good behavior make that like 3 years or something like that, depending how bad it was and who comes forth and what the jury decides and shit like that. So, I mean, not what the jury decides, what the judge decides. Because he's already been in jail for like a year and some change. So now that part I get where you can be upset, because sex trafficking, majority of the time, the way it makes it really illegal is because you're trafficking minors, or you're trafficking women or people who didn't want to be trafficked in the first place. Or unwilling, like they said, sex trafficking by force. I guess that's like an actual thing where, well, no, it's not an actual thing. Sex trafficking by force meaning like you did that. Like they were also talking about, like, they were saying something else about him, like with the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because all that stuff falls under prostitution if you're paying for it, though. Like prostitution and sex trafficking, they're different, but and they're one. You know what I'm saying? Depending. I don't know. Actually, I'm really lost based off the way they're just explaining it. Because freak offs, he's had like NDAs and people have negotiated. You know, like things were signed with certain people, and then some things were under the table and probably just recorded and for his safety. But this is what I'm trying to say to people. I don't really know the case. I don't really know the whole background of the whole entire. I'm just listening to what they're giving me. You feel me? I'm listening to what media is giving me, because I'm not there. I'm not in the fucking courtrooms, not watching it live. And even the bitch that's there watching it live can't tell us every fucking thing, because she got fucking rules that she gotta follow and abide by and shit like that. So, like, today's podcast is really like, all right, one, focus on being aware to you women and men who possibly are aware of this, and people who aren't aware of this. Sex trafficking is real. This man here, I'm not gonna sit here and claim he's one of them, but a man that successful, put it like that, a man that successful, a man this successful has the power to do that. A man that in the background who's drinking that has the power to do that. That woman wearing that suit, she has the power to sex traffic, and you wouldn't even know. She could be the leader of the whole shit. Matter of fact, she could be helping the sex traffickers because she's part of sex trafficking. You never know. But the best way to be aware is always to be vigilant. Always be aware of your surroundings and understand that this world is a dangerous place. Understanding it, not being afraid. I'm not telling you to be afraid. I'm telling you to understand. understand. Women, they said like there was the trick that men do. They be putting they put a rag, like they grab like a paper towel. They'll grab a paper towel and soak it with is it chloroform? Whatever that shit is when you touch it and it make you like you fall asleep. Whatever the shit is, fentanyl, whatever the goddamn shit is. The shit to like drug you and then like take you wherever. Like they'll do it and they'll wrap it around your car door. So if you guys ever see that, this is for the women who do watch this. I know it's not too many people or people in general, guys too. If you guys see, like say you have a car and you park and you go into a Walgreens, okay, and you come back out and you look at your door handle and you see there's a paper towel wrapped around it, do not take it off with your bare hands. I'm looking at my mic, but I should be looking at here. Do not take it off with your bare hands. Do not grab the paper towel with your bare hands, especially if it's wrapped around your handle. This goes for men and women. I've seen this. It was crazy, low key, but it was it's like in the movies where the nigga go like this, where he comes like try to kidnap you and you go like this, put that shit right. It's the same ordeal. Those are the guys who are out there like who's really hunting on you, who've been watching you for sure. And that's really for the ladies for a fact, because ladies, I know they don't be thinking about this shit, but like if you went into a store and you come back out and there's something on your car, bro, be on the lookout. 100% be aware. But that was like one of those things that help you not get kidnapped. But I was just putting it out there to be aware in life, not to fear anybody, but be aware, be prepared, understand. But people like this do exist. If he doesn't get, I feel like obviously people in the world, there's some people who are, for instance, don't fuck with Bill Cosby. Never met the man, but they don't fuck with his actions. They didn't fuck with the law. They didn't fuck with the way he got caught up in the situation. They didn't like how women, like that whole debacle. But he ain't never really come out and speak on nothing or say too much. He can't. I think he's been in jail. I don't know if he's still in jail. I think he's out. I don't know. I can't speak on people with money, but I know one thing is that we grow up watching and eventually falling in love with a character and not knowing the person sometimes that they portray to be, or people change. So I grew up listening to his music, but at this point in time, I'm still just looking at him like he's a person who made the same mistakes as a regular person on the street. Was he doing more damage and more evil shit than probably a person on the street? Hell yeah. But we've seen crazy videos. I've seen crazy videos in this past year that made me definitely listen to this and could laugh, because I know for a fact this nigga's definitely did half of the things that the women done said already. The bitch says she got held over a balcony. Okay, held over a balcony. That's definitely a Diddy move. I'm not, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of people who just genuinely have power. I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint, not from an emotional standpoint, because there's nothing tied. I don't have nothing tied to him. The music wasn't even, people who be like tied to the music and be like, oh, I can't even listen to that person no more because they did what they did. They're not even understanding what type of relationship y'all even have. Y'all don't have a relationship. You and him don't have a relationship. He don't care if you stop listening to his music. He's still gonna see you as a number right now because he don't know you. You can enjoy the music but not like what he did. You can sit there and be like, damn, this song fire, but damn, bro, you really did that shit. Some people have to have cut ties with both. Like, some people can't understand the difference. And I'm at the point in life where I'm like, I see where the wrong is. I see where the fact that if he does go to jail for this shit, great. Finally, some justice in the world for the women who've been struggling with men like him who are a little bit misogynist, a little bit crazy, and also power hungry. Because that is a power. I feel like that's a straight power move, bro. Like, it's nothing else I can see behind, like, domination. I can't see nothing else behind why you would want the shawty you took under your wing to be dominated 24 hours in a row. I wouldn't understand why the baby oil and all the shit was covered. I get everything being covered up in the room, so you don't never mess up. So you don't gotta pay shit. You don't gotta pay for nothing if you got covers and sheets covering everything. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta pay. Diddy is smart. That's what I'm saying. The evil genius in him is crazy. And low key, like I said, based off the way it sounds, like they can't even put nothing on his real name because they don't have no solid witnesses. Which mean like he either took care of everything or everything was on paper, and they said number one was the one that they were stuck on, which is the Rico case. And off the rip, he ain't do nothing as far as Rico. Like you feel me? He wasn't murking. They still ain't find nobody dead. They still ain't find nobody. They ain't find. Wait, that's the one thing. Also, let's look it up right here on my phone. Hold on, I'll look it up. Give me 1 second. Racketeering Influence Corporate Organization Act, USA Federal Law designed to combat an organized crime by targeting criminal empires that engage in partnering of racketeering activities. RICO case involved providing that an individual or a group participated in a pattern of racketeering activities connected to empires. Racketeering activity involves racketeering activity. This involves engaging with specific criminal offenses listed in RICO statute, such as murder, kidnapping, gambling, arson, you know what I'm talking about, the burning shit up, robbery, burglary, extortion, drug dealing, mailing and wiring fraud. Okay, partner of racketeering. This requires at least 2 racketeering acts within a 10-year period. Okay. Enterprise. The RICO statute defines enterprise broadly, including any legal or illegal entity, such as corporate. Okay, I get it. Okay, so I take what I back on. I said this nigga might go down. I ain't gonna lie. I know they already kind of dismissed the RICO shit, but if they ever bring it back up, I mean, I know once you know, but since he never. The longest he didn't rob. Damn, that's crazy, bro. So if no women, that's why I just said, bro. I just said that if that bitch would have said it was like by force, if she would have said like I wasn't trying to be in a relationship with you and then left, and then he came and grabbed her, that's kidnapping. But the bitch said that's the part. All right, so then Cassie, it's about like if he get caught for the fraud, like if his money don't hold up, if his money don't hold up, that's racketeering activity. They said gambling is racketeering activity, so I guess you can't make too much money off of gambling in your lifetime. That's crazy. That's kind of fucked up. So as long as this nigga don't kill nobody, long as he didn't kill nobody, didn't burn, yet as long as there's no proof. Let me say it like this: as long as there is no proof of him killing nobody, as long as there's no proof of him kidnapping anybody, as long as there's proof of no real gambling, issues and debt and shit like that, if there's no proof of his arsoning, robbery, bribery, extortion. Ew, what the fuck was that? That shit look like a bubble. Extortion. I lost my fucking train of thought. Drug dealing or mailing, wire fraud, whatever. Hey. And like they said, for prostitution, you get like you could only get like 4 or 5 years, or he gonna be free, because a lot of it didn't even sound like prostitution unless they got other people on the witness that they're not talking about that. Unless that was because one of those shit said 17 days. One of those was like the same day the nigga got everything damn near cleared off the board. He low key got everything cleared off the board. He was ready to go home. But if he kidnaps somebody, that's technically part of sex trafficking. So even though technically sex trafficking doesn't say anything about kidnapping. That's crazy. No, not in. I don't want to translate it, you stupid fucks. Niggas got me translating that shit. Alright, yeah, okay, so one. Then there's not even much on it, okay. Transporting people from one country or area to another. Purpose of sex exploitation. So you don't even have to travel the country to be a sex trafficker. Okay, that's where I was lost at. I was being slow. You don't have to travel far. If you just transport bitches to hotel without their permission for sex, you a sex trafficker. Just know that. And you going down for at least 7 to 10 years. Right? Hold on. Yeah. I was right. Yeah, 10 years. Just say minimum. Damn. But they said he wasn't. They said he most likely wasn't going to be prosecuted with sex trafficking, he said that most likely his shits would be prostitution, which would be like 5 to 6 years or something like that. It's not a lot with good behavior. All right, so we learned today what sex trafficking was. We learned what was the other shit I just learned? Sex trafficking, meaning, and what a RICO case was. We learned what a RICO case was. So we didn't we didn't come in here and bullshit. We also learned how to make sure we check our cars for paper towels / kidnappers / Clorox. It's called, what was that shit called? I think it's called chloroform. And I'm talking to y'all. I already knew all this stuff. Shout out to Jada Goddess, man. I appreciate you. Like, I already knew all this stuff and shit like that. Like, not all this. Not all the stuff about Diddy, but, like, the other shit. The RICO case, I learned. That's something I learned new today. Personally, I learned about the RICO case today. Like, every time somebody say that shit, like, I got it, but, like, I didn't get it until just now. Like, I fully kind of understand what a RICO case is now. Like, it's about, like if I had to summarize it, it's about literally, like I said, gambling, doing anything illegal damn near. But all of that has to be, like, with a group. If you're doing it with, like, a group of people, and y'all motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, you I said organizing, stupid ass, but, you got an organization. You got, like, an organization or a group or, like, low-key a gang. You got a gang, and y'all making money any illegal way, fraud, y'all doing any type of card swiping, y'all doing any type of, like, any way getting money that ain't really legal, you motherfucking, you going down on the RICO case, bitch. You murder somebody, RICO case, bitch. Yeah, Corporate Organization Act. Law, design, combat, organize, enterprise. When you create an enterprise, you don't even gotta create an enterprise. Damn near, they gonna catch your ass with a RICO case if you got, like, this. Put it like this: if you got, like, 10 to 15 friends on with you, right, and y'all all playing this shit, and y'all all been getting money off of this same fucking, like, hand that's feeding you, which is, like, these two niggas over here been murdering motherfuckers. These niggas been credit card swiping. Y'all all working together and putting the money to, nigga, RICO for every single one of you motherfuckers. Unless one person decide to take it off for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless one person be like, nah, it was just me. It was only me. That's actually depending on what the receipts motherfuckers say. But if they see y'all doing credit card swipes and shit, that's definitely going down. Going down. So to y'all young niggas, to y'all young YNs, cut the shit. 10 years of your life, bro. 10 years. Diddy could be going down for 10 years. Could be. I think they said, like he said, racketeering, they probably wasn't worried. They weren't worried about the RICO case as much as they were worried about the sex trafficking. But sex trafficking can go down. You can go down for 10 years too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. Yeah. Both of them bitches is 10 years. So don't be transporting, don't be organized, or I did it again. Don't be organizing fucking. Don't be put it like that. That's what sex trafficking is. Like, sex trafficking is like organized rape, low key. Like, you just, like, you moving it over here, putting it over there, and like like it's not yours, but you're gonna move it to this hotel and put it over here. If they find you doing that, that's sex trafficking. Crazy. Convicted. Oh yeah, but it's mainly involved with a minor. Hold on. Sex trafficking penalty in the USA can result in a lengthy prison sentence, including life. Oh, for and life imprisonment, especially when minors are involved. So it's not only saying that you can't be trafficked at your age. You can be trafficked at whatever age, but they're saying it definitely can, like, your minimum's gonna be 10 years, especially if you have kids involved. So that's what I think everybody was hating on about him, and that they were mad because they might be dismissing the sex trafficking and only giving him. Let's look up prostitution. It's good to be informed. I honestly wouldn't. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't. I've never been interested in doing either one of those things. So it's like I didn't know how long you would go to jail for. So it is some helpful information, but not helpful. It's like one of those informations you're gonna be like, all right, well, they got sentencing for kidnapping, all that shit. Matter of fact, hold on. Forgot what I was doing. Not kidnapping. Prostitution. You know what's crazy, bro? Cause I never, on my mama, I don't even know how to spell prostitute. Prostitution. A prostitute is someone who engages in sexual activities. But okay. Why do I keep telling you what a prostitute is? I'm just saying, like, I'm like sentenced for prostitution. Prostitution. All right. In the USA, prostitution is genuinely. I tried to read this word in advance and I still fucking with it. No, oh, my fault. I'm stupid. Generally a misdemeanor, but penalties vary by state. Can escalate for repeat offenses or involving a minor. First-time offenders typically face fines and potentially jail time, while repeating offenses or situation involving a minor or human trafficking, they threw human trafficking in there because prostitution kind of goes along that line, can lead to more severe, but y'all didn't give me a fucking time. Alright, well, here we go. So, the first fine is that's crazy, bro. America is wild. If you don't get caught for the bitch, the first time is a fine is $1,000 for prostitution. First, you get a fine. It's not even really, you don't even really. Hey man, get out the car. Come on, stop. Hey, you're gonna get a ticket. That's crazy. It's number one, and that's in California. Or jail time, or up to 6 months in California. That's in California. Some jurisdictions may require also completely education program and a danger of prostitution, HIV, that's crazy as fuck. So you don't really do jail time. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. Like, you really could just be bailed out. Because they would have said, like, a number. Like, every other one had a number. So it's like, it's really based off if he get caught up with the, okay, I see why people could be, like, if the verdict don't, like, if they just be like, nah, it was all prostitution and shit like that. They, like, pretty much throwing the whole shit out the water. They pretty much throwing this whole shit down the drain. If they say it's just prostitution. Which would be kind of fucked up, you know, like, after everybody testified. He dangled me off of a balcony. Yeah, so we're just gonna give him a slap on the wrist. We know he's in danger, but we're just gonna give him a slap on the wrist. It's fucking wild, to be honest. Sorry, I was supposed to be ending this soon. We were supposed to be quick, but we've been back. We finally back, man. Appreciate everybody who joined today. Zero, Chris, Jada Goddess, man. About to stream something. Like I said, I had Homeboy come through. Hopefully by when I'm on stream, I don't gotta worry about shit. But yeah, today we learned about what racketeering is. We learned about, what was the last word I did? I'm so sorry. We learned about prostitution, how many years you could get for it. We learned about the law. We learned law today. We actually went and learned about the law today. I like that. Wasn't probably the podcast I was gonna, like, you know, probably preach, but honestly, I still call it a podcast because I'm talking and I'm teaching and y'all get to listen to me. Somebody was like, my boy the other day, shout out to Ty Millie, was like, yo, you gotta start a podcast. I was like, nigga, I do have a podcast. And I was like, he was like, but you know what I mean. And I was like, it bothered me because I've been had that setup, like, you know, like, what's it called? But like, he already know because he come from exactly where I'm coming from, that it costs bread when you, especially when you start by yourself. When you starting on your own and doing everything on your own. But it bothered me some because he said I have a gaming channel, but I'm like, bro, it's a whole podcast section. It's a whole podcast section that pop up. It didn't really bother me, but it really made me laugh. Like, it actually made me laugh. I was like, bro, like, I've been going crazy. I've been going crazy by myself. And let alone if I had people to interview. What? He is one of them. Rappers, shit like that. Anyways, brought that up just to say, hope you guys enjoyed today's video and podcast. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you already knew everything, cool. But this is for people who probably didn't know, people who may watch, people who wanted to know about the Diddy case, didn't go ahead and dive in, but dived into my channel today. Don't even know who the man is. Hey, we got an explanation. We got an overview of him today, for sure. That's what podcasts are for. Sometimes podcasts is meant to like talk about one person, or podcast is meant to talk about multiple things. Sometimes podcasts is meant to enlighten a lot of people at one time. Sometimes people just come on here and talk directly to the people about their life. That's what a podcast sometimes is. The radio, we're used to radio podcasts. And you're not used to going on actual radio, though, and listening to people speak. Radio podcast people are just doing this right here. It's just different because I got a video camera right here on the side and talking through the mic. So technically, like, it's a video, but it's technically a podcast. I said so in the way I have it set up. I ain't used none of these fucking, what's it called today either. I could have, but we used them in the beginning. Y'all seen it.
Wanting to possibly have this is about finality. You know, listen, they know that there is double jeopardy that could attach the second, essentially, this trial began. But they also want to, meaning it could not be tried twice for the same matter. And yet they still want finality. They want unanimity and they want finality. They do not want to figure out whether the prosecution, if it is a hung jury,
wants to go back and try to retry this case. Can you imagine? 34 witnesses, 7 weeks, overwhelmingly focused on the charge of RICO. If it's a hung jury, that is the option of the prosecution to go back and try the case again without a double jury being implicated, double jeopardy being implicated, excuse me.
All right, let's reset for a second. We're also joined now by Ellie Honig, our legal analyst here, and of course Laura and Elizabeth are going to stick with us through now.
Oh, why don't this one work? All right, y'all, but yeah, we about to get ready to. Damn, what the fuck? We about to get ready to dip up on out of here. I heard it crazy. I hope each and every one of you guys had a blessed rest of y'all day, man. Like I said, y'all ain't get this shit off the screen for I yo. So I got my information for the day. I don't really care about either way, but still don't got a real I still don't have a real judgment on him, you know, as far as like character and shit like that. But based off of what I heard, this is all him. Like, I don't deny him doing none of that shit, but I think I got to a point where looking at I look at celebrities. I've looked at celebrities for their good way too much and not seen their bad. So I believe it's probably best that, like I said, somebody speaks out on it, because I'm pretty sure that they're not every day, you know, like, there's not every day somebody not talking about this shit, you know what I'm saying? So I believe some of the women that, you know, at least she was honest and said she loved him, but the nigga put her through some shit. So we learned today, if you know you love them, if you love them, it's about love and not about money. If you love them, it's about love and not about money. If you don't want to do something, you do not have to. That's like a easy statement for y'all. If you do not want to do something in this life, you don't have to. Only thing you really gotta do is obey by the law, if anything. But everything else in this world, somebody telling you have to do that, you don't have to. And I'm talking to people who are grown. I'm not talking to y'all little kids who still live with y'all parents and don't understand certain things. But there's going to be times where you're alone and there's choices you have to make. Try and go with the gut feeling and make the right decision, not the wrong one. Especially if somebody gave you an ultimatum like, you could leave. Like, you could leave and I'm just not going to pay your rent now. I'm just not going to do nothing else for you. You can get out of my life. It's not going to do nothing else for you. That's fine. People feel like that, you need to leave. If people can feel like they can just talk to you any old kind of way, you need to go find yourself. And that's facts. And the second thing we learned is about RICO cases. We learned about the actual definition behind a RICO cases. We learned the definition behind racketeering and sex trafficking and prostitution. And we learned how not to get kidnapped. We learned a preventative way. Q didn't show you guys. Honestly, I feel like I could have did that earlier. It should have been nice. It would have been nice to show y'all. Because we're already at like almost 2 hours for the podcast of the July. We're almost at 2 hours. But I kind of wanted to keep it like an hour and 45. So, but yeah. We learned all those things today. I think that's a good recap. I tried to recap earlier and then I started talking too much. So, yeah. Hope each and every one of you guys have a blessed rest of y'all day, man. I don't know if I said that again and again and again, but just know I'll be forgetting because I'll be high, I'll be smoking, I'll be chilling, I'll be vibing, you feel me? Please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, man. Hit that button, hit that like, and live your life. Peace. Ram.